Hey everybody, Mike Tuttle here again with you from the Rhapsody studio in Anthem, Arizona as part of our Rhapspired video series. An opportunity for us here to share our stories and our inspirations about music. We are extremely lucky and privileged to have with us today Ms. Sarah Lucas Page, one of our phenomenal instructors here at Rhapsody Music. And I kid you not, we are privileged to have Sarah with us. She is an amazing clarinet player and instructor. She is one of the sweet spots when it comes to teaching young kids and a lot of things. She also teaches piano, has such an engaging and fun personality with the kids. It really is nice to see her play. And she's also an extraordinary musician. One of the best clarinetists I've heard in a long time as far as coming through where I've come from. She also, she came through Valley Vista High School. She got her AA from GCC, and she's now currently in her composition degree program at ASU, and is in fact a student composer in residence at ASU. So she's got a lot of stuff going on. Also, kind of one of the brainstorm and kind of the feet behind all of these videos we've been doing. Normally she's on the other side of the camera helping us out and posting a lot of that content. So again, Sarah, I'm so happy to have you with us today for the video series. As we've been asking people all along, our most important thing we're trying to get out of this is what inspires us as musicians. So without further ado, Sarah, how'd you get into music? What inspires you to keep it going? Give us a story.
So what inspired me to get into music was, it's kind of a funny story. So 4th grade, I was able to join band, and I wanted to do band mainly because I know my sister couldn't ahead of me. So I was like, I want to do band just because my sister couldn't. Yeah. And so picking the instrument is kind of a similar story as Alec, who came on an earlier episode. Clarinet was one of the cheaper ones to rent, so clarinet it was. It was either clarinet or flute. And I thought clarinet was cooler because Squidward, obviously.
Squidward. SpongeBob reference,
Yeah.
just in case we're unaware.
Yeah. And so I was one of many clarinetists in 4th grade, and throughout the years, all the kids kind of trickled down until in 8th grade, I was one of only 3 8th graders in band.
Wow.
Yeah, playing bass clarinet. And I remember my band director at the time, Mr. Roberts. I was playing bass clarinet in the band, and then we had a couple of other clarinets. They were 7th graders, and he rewrote some of the music so that I would have the melody, because I was the only one that practiced. And
Practice will get you many benefits. I want you to be clear on that, everybody.
Yeah, I played bass clarinet in band, but I had all the melodies. It was pretty sweet. Yeah, him as a teacher, I haven't seen him in many years, but he told me that he had gotten into Juilliard when he was first auditioning, but couldn't go. And I was like, you know what? I want to go to Juilliard. I'm going to do it. So in 8th grade, I decided I was going to go into music, mainly just because I wanted to go to Juilliard.
Nice.
But now I'm like, I'm not going to Juilliard. Yeah, but that's how it started for me.
Very cool. Well, and obviously playing clarinet, we all get that band shot, right? There's a certain core of us. We get that 4th, 5th start. So some of our path is a little easier than some of the others who don't have that specific programs. But composition is got to be a different mindset. So where did you shift gears? Because the composition, I mean, you've done so much arranging and composition for here for us. You got a chance to hear your new composition, Waves, at the presentation a couple weeks ago, I think it was, or last week?
Yeah, the ASU Wind Band concert, yeah.
Yeah. Where did it shift for you where that became also such an important component of who you were as a musician?
So there is this note program online called Note Flight.
Okay.
That when I was a freshman in high school, someone who was an upperclassman introduced to me. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. The first thing I ever tried to write on this program was a band piece.
Nice.
As a freshman in high school, I tried to write a band piece. It was awful.
Terrible, right?
It was god awful. And I was confident enough, I would post it. It was so bad. And that's where I kind of fell in love with like, oh, I like creating my own music. Yeah. That's where it started for me. And then when I went into college, I wanted to go into composition, but I was told, like, no, that's not something you major in. You major in education, because that's the only job you can get as a musician. And so went down the education path for a little bit, And then my second year at GCC, I held my own composition concert with the help of one of my favorite teachers, Dr. Stephanie Gardner. If you're watching this, I love you. She was my mentor in that and helped me get that recital going, and ever since then I was like, you know what, I want to do the composition thing. So a couple years after that, I transferred to ASU, and I'm going into my last year next year.
Wow.
Getting my undergrad degree in composition.
Very cool. Yeah, creating music is probably something that a lot of people skirt. They think about, they're sit in their room and they're strumming their guitar, trying their piano, but really get to the point where you feel like you can put some things together. That's a challenging thing. I remember in college, I did some arranging classes that I'm glad I took, but I wasn't good at it. It just was not what I was able to be good at. That wasn't the thing. I remember I arranged, I think I arranged America the Beautiful for sax ensemble. Right? I did a woodwind, Sarah. Look at that.
Oh,
and I included a C melody sax in it.
Oh, why?
And Robert Panario, my teacher, my theory teacher, he just looked at me as I turned in. He said the same thing. He's like, why?
Why?
Why did you do that? So at that point, I think I'm like, okay, well, that maybe it's not for me. And it takes a special, and there's a lot to putting composition together. Yeah, and especially when you're taking on orchestral literature or band literature, where there's a myriad of layers of things you're doing. That's a tough gig. So, yeah, super exciting. Sarah also does, and this is one of the gems I think that people don't always know until they get in her studio. Phenomenal musician, great composer. You want to put your high school kids with them to get them ready for their regional all-state stuff, she's right on board. You want to bring somebody to her to start some composition training, go forward, that's great. You want to bring a 6-year-old to her who wants to sit down and play piano, you should see her eyes light up. She loves those kids so much. Again, I'm going to ask the why, the where, right? Because those don't always mix. Upper level composition and musician, sometimes we get a little bit of a rap of being a little snooty in ourselves at times, right?
Snooty.
Yeah. But you really have engaged even with that younger, that K, that young kid. What makes that so fun for you?
I really enjoy children. Yep, not a lot of people do, but I really like kids. I always like it when they get something down that they couldn't do before.
Yeah.
It's that light in their eyes, the inspiration behind them, where they can now get all 5 fingers on the piano and play a 5-note scale that they couldn't do 10 minutes ago, and they're like, holy cow, I'm the greatest pianist alive. Yeah, like a lot of these kids, they come in and they're like, I'm already a great piano player. And I'm just like, yeah, you are. Let's do this. And that's why I love it.
Yeah, very cool. And you should watch her in action sometime. We'll probably be doing some snippets of videos and pictures from the studio from all our instructors at some point. But that's really an important component. Again, and the fun thing is, I've never seen Sarah lighten her expectations either. It's really just about having the joy along with the student as they achieve, but she's always pushing them to the next level. And I see that around our studio. We're always pushing that student to think differently, to experience differently, to challenge themselves, to be even one better than they were, one step better than they were today, but always acknowledging the journey, which is important. I mean, it's not like we're not necessarily giving everybody the trophy, but we're also giving everybody the right acknowledgement along the way. And that's important. We all had that at some point. Somebody, you mentioned a couple instructors, somebody along our journey gave us that moment in time to go, I'm the best bass clarinetist in the world.
I am, yeah.
Front of the Titanic, right? Which is so important because, again, music isn't about just notes on the page, right? It isn't just about the award at the end. It's about the process. It's about the journey. It's about that joyful creation along the way that we go. It's so very important. So very cool. Sarah, thank you. Goodness gracious. What a neat episode. Again, we're going to come to you on a regular basis. If you've got some person or concept or topic you want us to address musically, let me know. Give me an email at mike@rhapsodyschoolmusic.com. You can call us at the store, 623-465-7060. You can find information on our website, Rhapsody Music AZ. We want this to be about something that is balloons and really lifts everybody musically. We want to be inspirational. We want to be part of your inspiration. We'd like you to be part of our inspiration. So make sure you're part of what we do. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Do the like, do the share, do all of that stuff, and be part of what we're going on. So, hey, make sure you watch all the way to the end of this video, because you're going to have a special treat, because we're going to exit with some clarinet by Miss Sarah Lucas Page. Thanks again so much. You guys have a great day. On behalf of Sarah and myself, blessings to all.